Hello, this is Dustin John Deesner, and I'm here to tell you that it gets better. I'm going to tell you my own story about me being gay, because I've been through a lot from when I was thinking about myself when I was young to when I came out when I was 17. Well, it wasn't 17, I was about 17, but it was right before my 17th birthday when I was 16, June. So it's 2 months before my 17th birthday. I'm 17 right now, gonna be 18 in a few months, so it's almost been a year since I've come out. Um, I'm openly gay, and I'm damn proud. As I said, I came out, so of course I'm openly gay. But ever since I was young, I have always had these thoughts of men. I mean, they probably started around the age of 6, which I know is an early age. And then when I was 8, when I started to develop, it's when those more intense feelings came. I mean, like, they'd be an occasional, oh, he's cute, or something like that, like in my mind. I think it's not like I'd say that out loud. Um, and then when I was like around 9 to like 12, I went through like this really over ridiculous religious phase where I thought there was something wrong with me because of these feelings. So I tried to deny them and became wicked homophobic. And I tried to like pray the gay way, I guess I would say. And I tried to date girls, but it never worked out, as I had one girlfriend. It was only for like 2 days when I realized this is not what I wanted. So I figured I just live my life in isolation for the rest of my life. But then it was when I was 13 um, that I realized that I was gay and nothing was gonna change that, because this friend that I had for years, ever since I was like a little kid, got on top of me and almost kissed me, but he said he was joking. But yeah, we'll leave it at joking. And after that, I realized that I was gay and there was nothing that was gonna change it. So a few months later, I came to terms with who I really was, and I decided the first person I would tell was that friend, not because I wanted to go out with him, or because he was probably like one of the closest people I had in my life at that time, and I thought he could understand. I mean, we had a great relationship up until that point, because I thought that um, nothing could break our friendships. But it's funny how just two little words, I'm gay, can make or break a friendship. We ended up getting into a huge fight, him calling me faggot, me calling him an asshole, so on and so forth. And he ended up walking out on me, which was really kind of heartbreaking to me as the 13-year-old kid I was, and being so innocent before that. Because then after that, I realized how much crap the world really is, and both my childhood and my religious faith, or God as I would put it, died that day. Um, After that, I kind of renounced my faith and became the atheist I am today, but that's not what that video is about. Um, but after that, is when I started to spiral into a deep depression, where I started to cut myself, because like I no longer, like, I felt completely numb on the inside, because I mean, basically the one person that I had that I looked up to, even though he was younger than me, I still looked up to him as kind of a little brother, and he broke my heart. So I became numb on the inside, and the only thing that I could do that would make me actually still feel that I was alive was cut myself, and then it started to become like really, really bad. So it started to become really, really bad, and I just cut myself more and more and more till like my whole arm was marked up, and I basically started to reopen old scars until when I was 15, I decided to end my life. Fortunately, I failed. I just did one big slit and I started to bleed a lot until I passed out. Uh, and I should have went to the hospital that night. but I didn't because I was too afraid to tell my parents that I cut myself, and more afraid of when they asked me why I cut myself. So after I bled for a while, I passed out, and then I ended up waking up, and luckily for me, like my blood clotted. So my blood clotted. So then after that, I kind of treated my wounds myself. I know being in a suicidal phase, that seems weird to treat your own wounds, but at that time, like I didn't want to die slowly. I never want to die slowly. So I figured that because bleeding to death seems fast to me, even though that it's kind of slow in the process. But I mean, basically, you bleed, pass out, and then that. But luckily, my blood clotted and I didn't die. And if I was gonna die, I want to be quick and painless instead of slow and painful like an infection would be. So I treated my wounds for a few weeks, and then the school nurse at the time saw it, and she ended up phoning my parents. Um, she ended up phoning my parents, and my mom saw my arm, and she asked me why I cut myself. I forget what I told her, but I told her some big fake story, and she believed me. And I thank that nurse to this day, Mrs. Jason. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be here today because my mom scared me into not cutting myself anymore by threatening by sending me to a psychiatric ward. So I haven't. But actually, a month after that, things started to get better for me. I met this guy, and we became real good friends. It was about like a month and a half into our friendship in December when I was 15 that um, we started to talk, and then he like always like hinted to me that he was gay by saying like my friend came out to me, and you know what, I did accept him, and he said that a few times. I always thought that was kind of weird, but I was just like kind of okay at that age. I was kind of oblivious, and at that time, that point I was in, I really didn't care much about people. I mean, I cared a little bit about my close friends, but that was about it. um so then about a month and a half into our relationship, we were just kind of hanging around, and he said that he was gay, and then I felt that I wasn't alone, so then I told him that I was gay, and then he asked me to be his boyfriend, and then I said, yeah, because, one person that I've actually told I was gay, and he wants me, and he's pretty cute. So, and then after that, I felt more acceptance, so I started to come out to some of my friends, some of my close friends, like Megan and Brianna, who are still my friends today. And at this time, I was only a freshman in high school. Um, and then about a year later, I broke up with John, who was the guy. I didn't say his name before, I don't think, but things kind of got stale in our relationship, so we decided just to be friends. We still talk here and there. And then about a month later, I got a case of the lonelies and ventured onto a chat site where I met my second boyfriend, Justin, who we had a long distance relationship was. This is now when I was 16. Um, and I became really, really close to him, and he was my first true love. I mean, I did deeply love him, and I still do, because, I mean, like, you don't get over your loves. I mean, even though if you have a big fight or not, if you love someone, you will always love them. It's just, you can't stand the sight of them anymore when you get into those big arguments. And that's basically when everything starts to crumble, unfortunately. But anyways, throughout our relationships, we went out for about 8 months, which was long. I mean, we went out for 6 months at first, broke off, and then went out for like another month, 2 months after that, and then we realized that things weren't going to work out. But in those 6 months, I started to go back into a depression because I still felt like I had a void, which was telling my family. I mean, the only person in my family who knew me at that time was my sister, who I am very close with and love dearly, for not telling my parents until I was ready to tell my parents. But my sister, my friends, and my boyfriend Justin at the time, which I know a lot of people say is funny because Dustin and Justin, haha. But anyways, um, I finally around a year ago, he finally talked me into it, and I finally told my parents that I was gay. And then we broke up shortly after that because of a fight we had. I'm not going to go into that because it's my business, but that's when stuff really started turning around because, it's like all those fears over nothing. So, but for me, it's gotten better. So I've made this video just to basically share my story and show you that everything is temporary. And you really shouldn't kill yourself because um, suicide is like a permanent solution to temporary problems. And life is just so worth living. I mean, before then, I always thought that life was just going to be crap after that, but it really turned out for the better. I mean, I still get bullied every once in a while, but not a lot. Probably because I'm such a big guy, and no one wants to really mess with a guy my size, even though I'm really just a sweet old teddy bear. But things will get better, and I promise you that. No matter what your situation is, things will always get better. I hope this has really uplifted you if you are thinking about killing yourself or something like that. But you really shouldn't kill yourself, and if you need someone to talk to, you can talk to me, because I'll probably understand what you're going through, having gone through a lot myself. So, I hope this has inspired you, and remember, stick in there. Life's worth living, because even if you don't think about it, there are so many people who care about you. So remember, stick in there. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Remember that. See you later.